Hello. This video is entitled Cubing Philosophy because of the fact that it's not a video about a review, it's not an unboxing, it's not a tutorial, it's not any of that. It's just a kind of a video that if you like understanding things rather than just doing things, I think you'll enjoy this video. You know, some people, you're like, oh, I don't need to know why the cube works. I just want to know how that it does. You know, teach me the algorithm and I'll do it, and that's it. I don't need to know. I don't need to learn how it works. But I actually find some things like that interesting, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. This is kind of just kind of sit and listen type of videos, not like pick up your cube and let's do a tutorial type of thing. But I think you'll enjoy it if you're the kind of person who likes brainy stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the main idea of this topic. I got an idea for this video after I got a couple of comments by a certain individual about one of my tutorial videos. The tutorial, how to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 1 minute. In this video, I teach people how to solve a medium style method. You know, you have the beginner and you have the advanced, and I kind of try to teach in the middle for that particular tutorial. And one of the comments was, you know, don't do this, don't do that, you know, that's too beginner. You need to do the advanced things. Like, for example, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so it was at this point in the tutorial that certain individual said basically this, you know, I was teaching people, you know, when you have certain situations, you should do soon to solve them, you know? You should do, or anti-soon to solve them. And basically what that individual is saying is, like, I think one of the cases was a case like this or something, you know, where it's not a soon case. And basically what I teach is, you know, first of all, recognize that this is not soon, but you can do soon, you know, and if you do soon once, it'll get you to soon again, and then you can do soon again, and it'll solve it for you. So basically you can do corner orientation only knowing one algorithm. You know, it's kind of a middle step. You don't have the beginner, you don't have the super advanced where you know all the, you know, OLLs. It's kind of a middle ground, maybe a little bit easier of a middle ground, but still middle ground. And somebody said, you know, don't teach people to do soon twice, because that's not the fastest way to do it. You should teach them that exact case, and they should learn that exact case. Well, first of all, I can do whatever I want. It's my video. But, you know, the comment made me think about it, and I was like, well, why do I teach people to do things easier ways when it's supposed to be a more advanced method? And I came across this conclusion. I came across the conclusion that most of my videos are geared not towards expert people, but, you know, more of a beginner type. Like, I view cubers as two categories. You have the advanced cubers that are trying to become expert cubers, and you have the beginners cubers who are trying to become advanced cubers. So, you know, most of the time you're in one of those ranges. You know, most of the time when you're an advanced cuber, you don't just stay there. You know, if you're putting in enough effort to become that good, you want to become better. And if you're a beginner who is actually interested in cubing, you probably want to know more methods. You don't have people that, you know, just do it and don't care. You know, so those are the two main groups that I put people in. You have the beginners trying to become advanced, and the advanced trying to become expert. And most of my videos are for beginners who are trying to become advanced cubers. And the whole reason that I do this is because of the fact that I don't think there's enough people out there who do that. I see a lot of videos, and I see people, you know, you got Throst, you got Pesvik, you got Pi, you got Lance, you know, you have all these, like, super awesome cubers who teach you, you know, super awesome methods. You know, they teach you full PLL, they teach you OLL, they teach you, you know, crazy F2L, you know, techniques and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, it makes me think, like, well, what if you're a beginner cuber? That can be really overwhelming for you. So what I started to do is I started to try to teach a method that combines two of the qualities that every single method does. And I try to combine these two qualities into the simplest and easiest form. Now, the two qualities that are in every single method is you have this. You have the efficiency of the method, which is how good the method actually works, and the ease of the method, how quickly and how easy the method is to learn. And most people, the advanced methods are 100% efficient. They do everything in the least amount of moves in the smallest amount of time. But what do? They sacrifice ease. It's really hard to learn full Frederick's method. Learning all of your OLLs, all of your PLLs, all of your F2L cases, studying cross techniques for like a long time. It's really hard. It's not easy. Now, it's extremely efficient. You can solve the cube in under 10 seconds, which is great. But, for a beginning cuber, you can't go from the beginner method all the way to knowing full Frederick's method. It doesn't work that way. And if you do it like that, it's probably, not the easiest thing to do. A lot of frustration in that. And you look at a beginner's method like the layer by layer method. Is it efficient? Of course not. It's terribly inefficient. It barely gets the job done. It does way too many moves. It takes a really long time to do. It makes you do extra moves all the time. It doesn't combine different layers and different pieces to solve them at the same time. It basically does piece by piece technique, which would be a better name for it actually. It's called piece by piece technique. Because what do you do when you do layer by layer method? You solve each piece individually rather than solving groups of pieces. When you do Frederick's method, what do? You solve F2L, which is 2 pieces. What do you do when you do OLL? You orient every single piece at the same time, which is groups of pieces. What do you do when you do PLL? You permute all of the pieces at the same time. What do you do when you do layer by layer? You put each corner in. Or first you do each edge on the cross, then you put in each corner, then you put in each F2L edge, and then you get all of these right, and then you get all these right, and then you put them in the right, blah, blah, blah. You get it. The point is, the beginner's method, the layer by layer method, is very easy to understand. It's simplistic, it is very repetitive, which means it's easier to learn, because repetitive things are easy to learn. For example, when you have the corner situation, or the edge situation, it doesn't matter what way the edge is facing, you do the same algorithm and it ends up solving it. If you have an F2L, like an advanced F2L like in Frederick's method, it does matter which way the edge is facing. It does matter what part of the cube it's on, because each case is different. So you don't have that ease factor when you have a more advanced method like a full Frederick's F2L method versus the layer by layer method. So basically the whole thing I'm trying to get at is you have to, when you're going for that middle ground between the beginner and the advanced, you have to have something in between. You have to have a combination of ease and efficiency. And that's what I try to do when I teach most of my videos. Now, I do have some more advanced videos. For example, the full F2L tutorial that I have for Frederick's, that's intended for 100% extreme, advanced cubers, expert cubers. People that use the full F2L method that I teach in those videos are the kinds of people who solve in sub 15, who solve in sub 10. You have to be able to use a full Frederick's method in order to get times like that. And that's one of the reasons why I taught that method. Or I teach all of the F2L cases. Is for people who are trying to become experts. But most of my videos are that bottom class, the people who are beginners and who are trying to become advanced. And the reason for this is because I'm not an expert. I am not. I don't solve, sub 10, sub 15. I'm not that good of a cuber, but what I am is I am smart. And what I learn on my own, I try to pass on to other people.